Sayo says, have you heard what Sayo says? Whether she's sitting down by herself or with her friends, that's what Sayo says. I love a good jingle. That's my problem. And I feel like throughout the course of the show, you're going to hear so many random jingles. So just get used to that. Get ready, get prepared, be prepared for it. But hello, I am Adesayo, aka Simply Sayo, aka Succulent Sayo, aka favorite child. I might not be the favorite child anymore, actually. I'm fighting with my family. I'm fighting with everybody. Oh my goodness. But hello, welcome to Sayo Says. I've been wanting to do this for ages. But my problem is, like many other creatives, I have a myriad of ideas and things that I want to do, but I never do them because it's so overwhelming. Once I'm overwhelmed with an idea, nothing's going to happen. I'm not going to do anything with it. But I thought, you know what? It's actually about time that I sit my fine ass in front of a camera. Okay? Let the world know what Sayo says. Mind you, I love the sound of my own voice. I'm not here on no humility, performative humility, anything. I love the sound of my own voice. So I'm inherently a yapper. Because you're not going to tell me that you don't want this voice to read you a lullaby. You're not going to tell me you don't want to listen to me with your JBL headphones, with your Apple earphones, AirPods, or whatever the heck, and tell me you don't want me to read you the hungry caterpillar. I love the sound of my own voice. Get used to it. Anyways, this is Sayo Says. The essence of this show, honestly, is just to yap. But also, to do some social commentary, some cultural commentary, to vent, to tell stories and anecdotes. And I have a lot of those. I have a lot of opinions. I'm very, very opinionated. But I'm also very, open-minded as well. And I feel like that is a very important balance to have, Be opinionated, but also be open-minded to other people's input. I'm not going to necessarily say opinions because, some opinions are founded in fact and others are founded in belief. And I'm always going to, Today, I want to actually talk about boundaries. Even on Snapchat today. I had me on Snapchat, by the way. Simply Sayo Snaps. Today I was on Snapchat whilst I was getting ready to film. Talking about boundaries and how I used to suck at boundaries. But that's what happens when I was brought up to forgive and forget. No, even if it's to your own detriment. Forgive and forget. And so I sucked at boundaries because for me, everything was you made me feel this way. You shouldn't have done this, but whatever. I have to get over it sooner rather than later. And so I never actually processed. A lot of the times I wasn't actually processing how I was feeling or how something made me feel, or I never entitled myself to being you know what? I'm going to protect myself from this by completely cutting things off or by putting in the necessary boundaries, being strict. I know there's a lot of conversation online about being strict and being a strict babe and stuff like that. Listen, not everybody knows how to be strict. Not everybody knows when to be strict. Not everybody knows when to set boundaries. And as a recovering somebody that never used to know how to set boundaries, now you say some shit that pisses me off. That's it, man. I'll address it with you, and I won't consider you. I'm not even going to consider your feelings. I've been so considerate of everyone else's feelings for so long. I'm tired of that. I'm honestly tired of that. In the Snapchat rant, I was talking about how this idea of giving people the benefit of the doubt. Hey. No. We're not doing that anymore because let's unpackage and unbox that statement, yeah? Giving someone the benefit of the doubt. Why must someone benefit from my doubt? Pardon? I beg your pardon? Why must you, somebody that offended me, somebody that did me wrong, why should you benefit from my doubt? It's not fun to be in doubt. That's not fun. That's not nice. So if anyone's going to benefit from my doubt, it's going to be me. in the sense that I'm going to use the doubt that I have towards you to protect myself from the doubts that I have of you. You're telling me, oh, give people the benefit of the doubt. Whole time they're there living their jolly, merry life. And you're here still lingering, thinking, maybe they didn't mean to. Maybe they didn't mean. My sister, my brother, don't do it anymore. Obviously, with discernment, I'm going to assume that you're intelligent. Okay. And so I'm not going to give all of these disclaimers. And that's another thing I hate. You know, when people are like, when they'll say something very, very direct, and then you'll have people in the comment section like, oh yeah, but what if I don't like beans? You're given a recipe for five bean soup. One bumble clock will now come and say, oh, what if I don't like kidney bean? Don't add the kidney bean. Some things don't need to be said. And so when I'm assuming that you have the discernment and the intelligence to be able to know when something, if it applies, no, what's the saying? If it don't apply, let it fly. Let it fly. Discernment, right? So, actually, there's a story. Speaking on boundaries, let me tell you when I realized that I was not setting the kind of boundaries I should have been setting. It was a sunny day. This there might be a little bit TMI. What is it? Too much information. There might be a bit of TMI in this, but basically I was linking this guy. It's a naughty story, guys. I'm not gonna lie. But I was linking this guy, and he had this dumb boundary. Mind you, I met him at a friend's birthday event. We hit it off and whatever. I liked him, he liked me. Cool, cute. We started talking, exchanged numbers, everything was really cool and whatever. Went to go link him, and we did the deed. We did the deed. Not too long after that, no, even before that, he's telling me, he sets this very clear boundary that he had. Very stupid boundary, if you ask me. Very clear but stupid boundary. Saying, by the way, my only boundary, the only thing I don't like is, the only thing I request is that you don't take a phone call from any guy on my bed. How dumb is that, guys? That's so stupid. Is that not stupid? Is that not stupid? So mind you, he was in shared accommodation, right? So he had his room, and then there were people, blah, 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 upstairs, whatever. So you go into his room, and it's his bed, it's his studio, it's everything there, right? There was nowhere to sit. There was nowhere to sit. So he tells me this. Mind you, this is my first time ever hearing about such a boundary, because what the heck? So he tells me this boundary. I'm very forgetful. I'm very, very forgetful. He tells me the boundary, don't take phone calls from next man on my bed. I said, okay, cool, no problem. Not even 20 minutes later, my friend calls me. Mind you, it was about work. My boy calls me. Obviously, I'm answering the phone now. Oh, hey, how are you? Blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to just be stood there I'm not just going to be stood on the ground taking a phone call. So, friend calls me. Instinctively, I wanted to get comfortable. Is it a crime? Can I know my offense? So, I take the phone call. Instinctively, I want to get comfortable, so I go on the bed. He's out of the room. He went to the toilet. He's out of the room. I take the call and whatever. He comes into the room as I'm about to, get off the phone. And I'm like, okay, cool. Bye, I'll talk to you later, whatever. Completely forgetting Mr. Boundary and his ridiculous boundary. He's like, who was that? I was just like, it's da-da-da-da. And he's like, after I just told you not to take a phone call from next man on my bed. He said, get out. He said, yeah, you can leave. I'm in shock. I'm in disbelief. I'm flabbergasted. I thought he was joking. I thought he was joking. So I'm like, you're so funny. He's like, no, like, it was the one thing I asked you not to do, and not even 30 minutes later, you've done it. And I'm like, wait, are you being serious right now? He was as serious as a myocardial infarction, a heart attack. I learned that when I was in summer school during sixth form. Myocardial infarction is what is the scientific term, medical term for heart attack. He serious as a myocardial infarction, heart attack. Imagine my surprise. The fine babe was too stunned to speak. I was too stunned to speak. I had no idea what was happening, and I was like, "Huh? No, you can't be serious." I'm mad sad because I actually liked him, but then it couldn't compute. It was not computing how he could have been such a dickhead. Because that's what he was. He was a dickhead. He was a dickhead. You tell someone one thing once and you think, I'm going to remember. That's crazy. Mind you, it's a dumb-ass boundary. But it was his boundary nonetheless. So I left. Because what am I supposed to do in that situation? And I sat in my car and I thought, wow, Sayo, you struggle with setting boundaries with people. You see your age mates that are flogging you and kicking you out of their bedroom and living room all in one because it was in a steam. You see your age mates that are standing on business, that are being strict, that are setting boundaries, as stupid as they are. You still gotta respect it. Do you know what I mean? I respect the fact that he had a boundary and he stuck by it. Unlike me, that cannot set boundary and stick to it. I sat in my car and I thought, I have to respect it, man. I have to respect it. And mind you, I did have a thing going on with the guy I was on the phone with. What now? So he was right. He was right. But you think I'm going to stand there and tell him that? No. First of all, fuck him. Obviously. But also, well done. Congratulations, well done. You're right. But mind you, this is my first time linking you. This is our first time linking. You couldn't have given me some grace. You couldn't have given a sister some grace. Shit. Oh, shit. It was not nice. Setting boundaries. From that day on, that's when I was like, nah, I need to be more strict. I need to set more boundaries because he didn't like something and he stuck to it. And ever since then, I've been building up my abilities to build boundary, develop boundary, to now where I'm like, I am like, if you do something to me that I do not like, I am going to let you know then and there. So that was when I realized that I needed to be a lot more strict and set boundaries. Have there been any moments in your life where you have been like, nah, I need to set harder boundaries? Has there been any moment where like you look back on and you're like, damn, shit, I wish I would have set more boundaries. I wish I would have been more firm with my boundaries. Let me know in the comments so that we can maybe even trauma bond a little bit. Let's trauma bond a little bit, because this is literally the first time of me going on record to say, I got your competition on the line. Have there been any moments in your life where you have not stood by a boundary and regretted it? Or has there been any moment where you're like, no, I need to set this boundary, and you've not regretted it? Let me know. Let's engage let's talk in the comments. And yeah, great, lovely. It still has me to this day because I felt so used. Like, I actually felt mad used. Like, mind you, his stroking was good. And I mean, stop. His stroking was good. His rhythm was a bit off though. I don't know. His rhythm was a bit off. I was like, okay, sure, whatever. Anyways, still sticking to the topic of boundaries. Not too long ago, a video that I posted online went viral. It was a video of it's actually crazy to go from, oh yeah, his stroking was good, to, oh yeah, there was a video of my parents apologizing. Like, what? Sayo, be so for real. Anyways, there was a video that went viral not too long ago that I posted online of my parents apologizing. Let me give you some backstory. We'll probably insert the clip somewhere, but let me give you the backstory to that, right? One day I woke up and backstory, proper context. I had recently moved back in with my parents, right? And so the whole moving process was heavy. It was so tiring, so draining, emotionally and physically. I was lifting, boss, lifting, carrying. The whole move process literally was like no exaggeration, over 13 hours from start to finish. I swear to you, I won't lie to you. What do I gain from lying to you? Anyways, I was moving. The next day, my arms were aching so bad. I was like, oh shit. My arms were they were engorged. They were really, really painful. And the only time my arms have ever hurt that much, mind you, I know it looks like I work on upper body. I know it looks like I work on my upper body. But I promise you I don't. This is just genetics. So the only other time my arms had been in that much pain, trauma bonding, trigger alert, trigger warning. This is a very triggering memory of mine, right? The only other time my arms had hurt that much was from when I was in I think it was year 11 actually. It was year 11. It was a really sunny, beautiful day. I had just finished laughing and enjoying myself at my end of year trip, year 11, end of year trip to Thorpe Park. That's all the UK know. End of year trip to Thorpe Park. That's all they know. They won't take you to a Kenya. They won't do that. Maybe I'm asking too much of public schools, but it's okay, Sha. Anyways, I had a lovely day out at Thorpe Park with my friends. The day prior, me and my dad had gotten into a spat, right? We got into a spat. So we weren't really on great terms. Shock. We weren't on great terms. So I come back after having this beautiful day, fun with my friends, to my dad saying, like, I come into the house, I say hello to everybody as I'm Nigerian. For those who don't know, I am Nigerian. The culture of greeting in Yoruba culture, in Nigerian culture in general, they don't play about that. The parents do not play about that. I come in after having a great day with my friends at Thorpe Park. I say hello to everybody, including my dad, with whom I had the spat, the day before. As I'm heading upstairs now, he says, Sayo. I said, yes. I go into the living room and he's like, so, Fekimi. Saying like, oh, you don't want to greet me. I was like, wait, but I said hello to everyone when I came in. Mind you, I entered the living room and I said, hello. I entered the room and I said hello to everybody. I greeted everybody. He calls me back. He said, Fekimi, you don't want to greet me. Shentori, arguments here, blah, 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 blah. No, yesterday I said hello. He didn't even, mind you, my mum is there like, she greeted you now. She said hello to everybody. I heard, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, He's like, oh yeah, get that chair. Kneel there, hold up the chair. But I said hello. I greeted you. I said hello. Like, he's like, no, I don't want to hear it. So I'm there now. I go and pick up this, do you know the little plastic foldable chairs? I picked that up. I'm now having to raise it. If you see my armpit hair, so what? Grow up. I'm a woman. I pick up the chair. I'm holding up the chair. I'm holding that chair, kneeled down, arms straight, for no exaggeration, probably like an hour, maybe. Do you know? That's literal torture. That's torture masquerading as discipline and punishment. I don't care what anyone says. Because even if I didn't greet him, even if I didn't say hello to him, does the punishment fit the crime? Does the punishment fit the crime? Does the punishment fit the crime? So I woke up that day, the day after moving, my arms were aching, and that's what triggered the memory. Because I said there's only one other time in my entire life that this arm of mine has hurt the way it's hurting now. And then I was like, he never apologized for that. I got up, sleep still in my eye, dribble still on my cheek, fatigue all over my body. I got up and I said, yeah, no, I'm owed an apology. Got up. I had my phone at hand anyways. I was already on Snapchat, so I was already recording. And then I went into my parents' room. I was just like, Dad, do you remember that time when da, 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 da? He's like, no, what? No, no, no. My mum was there as well. Mind you, when I was being punished for no good reason, and my mum heard that I said hello, she knew I said hello, she just sat there and let him punish me wrongfully. She just let him punish me wrongfully. So I go into their room and I say, Dad, do you remember that time when you punished me and you claimed that I didn't say hello to you after blah, 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 blah. He's like, oh, no, I don't remember that. Convenient. I remember. So I'm saying, yeah, do you remember when blah, blah, blah? And I said, you've never apologized for that. So I'm here to demand my apology. Dad, do you remember that time when I came back from my school trip at Thorpe Park in, I think it was sixth form, and you said that I didn't greet you, even though I did, and you didn't hear me? Mommy, share Roti. Do you remember? I still remember when I greeted you, and you said that I didn't greet you because we had a fight the day before. You thought that was me using that as an excuse to not greet you. Mommy, you remember, don't you? Oh, yeah. I remember. Don't worry. The pain is still in my hand. The muscle memory pain. Yeah. You owe me an apology. You haven't apologized for that because you punished me by making me hold up a chair for like an hour. I was crying. I said hello to you. I greeted you and you didn't hear me. But mum told you that I did because she heard me and you still punished me. You didn't apologize to me.
Sorry.
Thank you.
How many years ago was that?
It doesn't matter. It does not matter. Almost 10 years ago. Over 10 years. It doesn't matter. You never apologized. This is your time to apologize. And apologize sincerely. No, I will get every time I remember a traumatic memory and I remember that what you did, I'm coming to you to claim my apology. Me, I will get my apology. Don't do it again. Don't do it again. I got my apology 10 years later. I don't give a heck. I don't give a heck. And then my mum was there as well, trying to laugh it off. I was being dead serious. And I'm telling my mum, she's like, no, you too. You think you're exempt. You knew, you heard me say hello to him. You knew I said hello to him, but you still sat there and didn't defend me. You just let him punish me for no good reason, and you knew you were wrong. You owe me an apology as well. You heard me say hello to him. You knew I said hello to him. I told him I said hello to him, but you still let him punish me, and you just stood there and you did nothing. You should have said, Sayo, get up. And what do you mean? Why you guinea? No, it's true. Yes, you do. You think someone can apologize. There's no but. If you're apologizing and you're saying but, it's not an apology. You should have told him. You should have told me get up because you heard me and you were watching me be wrongfully punished. That's not right. There is no way that I would have stood by and let anybody punish my child when I knew that they did nothing wrong. You are his child. No, Mum, it does not matter. You see, I'm a child. I was a child then. I'm an adult now. And it's still something that bothers me to this day. Just because I'm a child, just because someone is a child, it doesn't mean that they're less deserving of an apology and accountability from their parents. If you are wrong, you apologize, full stop. That's how children now grow up, letting people treat them anyhowly because they're so used to their parents mistreating them and not apologizing afterwards. I was not in the wrong and yet I was being punished. Do you know how painful it was to hold up that chair? I ran to the toilet crying. I still remember it. You let him do that. You just sat there knowing that I was right and he was wrong.
You know what happened? Surely, to be frankly speaking,
I remember.
That is what
I remember.
That is why not just a child, a very dangerous person to defend it.
And you know I'm a wicked woman today. I'm a wicked woman today because of all those experiences.
Forgetting it, but the child that you do something.
Mommy, I can never forget that day.
Or good,
never forget. I came back from having so much fun with my friends to this bullshit. As soon as I walked into the door, bass, punishment. What for? You owe me an apology for letting him do that and for not standing up for me, knowing that I was right.
And during that time,
Mom, there's not enough apologizing going on right now.
The other time you pay the regime
Mom, just because that's how you did it before does not mean that it was right then either. It does not excuse it. It does not excuse it. I'm telling you now that what happened, I felt betrayed by you. Mommy, Mommy, no. Why was it easier for Dad to apologize than for you?
I didn't say I won't apologize, but I am trying to explain to you.
I understand.
Our own regime,
Mommy,
that time.
I understand how you were brought up and whatever regime it is you're claiming. But right is right and wrong is wrong, especially in that situation. You heard me. You knew I greeted him, and yet you did not stand up for your daughter. I felt betrayed. And then afterwards, you tried to comfort me. I didn't want you to comfort me. Because as far as I'm concerned, you were the one, you as well told me to hold that chair. Both of you is the same thing. Because you stood there and you watched him punish me wrongfully and you didn't say anything. Okay. That was wrong.
So far, so good. I'm sorry. Right? Because the reason that you might not understand it and might not understand it as well. Because it's just like back to our distance, we still have that mentality.
And it was the wrong mentality then, and it's the wrong mentality now.
So those are the things. I'm sorry for that.
Thank you.
Then let's say this thing that
I'm here to demand an apology from both of you. So my mom's trying to play it off and joke off. Mom is like, no, you owe me an apology because that was ridiculous. That was absolutely ridiculous. So I got my apology and etc. because there's no way I'm gonna. That was actually crazy. Now I'm thinking about it again. Like that's why I never work on upper body. To this day, you will never see me in a gym doing oof, because it's muscle memory. The lactic acid that was building up. I was kneeled down. My arms were shaking. Do you know how painful that shit was? Hella painful. I demanded my apology. I recorded the video, etc. I recorded the apology, posted it posted it on my Snapchat, posted it on Twitter. Went viral. A bunch of people now started giving their stories of all the times in which their parents traumatized them and punished them wrongfully and nothing happened because apparently African parents are above apologizing. Not under my roof. Not under my dictatorship. Hold your African parents accountable today. It doesn't matter. That incident happened over 10 years ago. I only just got an apology for it. And since then, I've been writing a list of all the different things, all the different apologies that they owed me. I haven't even got into the second part. I'm already not talking to my dad. I'm already not talking to my dad. There's a lot. And it's like, what I love most about that video is the engagement with it, the amount of stories that so many other people have of their parents just thinking that it's okay to not apologize when you're wrong. And the thing is, when you create this culture amongst your children where they can't even tell you when you've wronged them without being shut down, without being shouted at, what do you think that's going to do developmentally to the child into adulthood? There was a serious problem of infantilizing African children. There will be people, not even children, there will be people that are in their 20s, late 20s, early 30s that are still being infantilized by their parents. Of course, there's a level of obviously discernment that we need to apply. You will always be children to your parents. But when these children get to the point of life where they are adults and you're still treating them like children, you're still thinking that you can get away with not holding your hand up and saying, you know what, I do owe you an apology, I was wrong. It doesn't mean you're no longer their parents. It doesn't mean that you're sorry that you ever existed, because they love doing that dramatic hyperbole. It's like, oh, so if I apologize for this thing now, should I apologize for everything else? Yeah, actually, you should apologize for everything. If you're wrong, apologize. It doesn't matter if you've offended a child. It doesn't matter if it does not matter. Apologize. So when I set that boundary with them and I said, no, you're not going to get away with this kind of treatment, something that to this day, that has impacted me. Because being punished for something that you did not do when your other parent was there, knowing that you didn't do anything, is going to, the amount of resentment that I had towards my parent for that one incident, one of many, by the way, is crazy, because it's like, how is that right? How is that right? How is that righteous? How is that the right thing to do? So I posted the video, it went super viral and everything, and people were adding their 2 cents and stuff, and I was just like, African children have suffered. We've suffered. We really, really have. So since then, I've really just been very intentional about being like, no, if someone has upset you, if somebody has done wrong by you, stand your ground. Stand your ground. And then just going back to the Snapchat conversation, I was on Snapchat today talking about, do not ever allow somebody to overestimate your desire to have a relationship with them if they think that they can get away with treating you in a way that you do not want, just because they think that you so much want a relationship with them. Nobody is above the program. No one's above the program. Not my parents, not my sibling, not the love of my life, whoever the heck that is. The love of my life is my little sister. Even she's not above the program, but she is very emotionally intelligent. Very emotionally intelligent. A lot of our parents aren't. And that's just the truth, A lot of them aren't. And they're not used to people, especially their children, talking to them and holding them accountable for their lack of emotional intelligence. A lot of them, they're just not used to it. I'm not the one that will allow you to continue getting away with it, because it gets to a point where it's just a pattern of behavior. You know what I mean? It's a pattern of behavior. How many times can I overlook this thing when it's clearly it gets to a point where it's just a character flaw. And I'm supposed to want to be around that. I'm supposed to be okay with that for the sake of having a relationship with someone? No. So when there's that kind of pushback towards, being held accountable, no one's above blocking. Nobody above blocking. Whether that's technologically blocking you on my phone, or just not having a relationship with you anymore, or just snatching back my personality privileges. You don't have the privilege of my personality anymore. Because if you can't just admit when you're wrong, then what is there to talk about? What is there to talk about? Someone is telling you that you've made them feel a type of way, and instead of you being like, you know what? I didn't even see it like that. You're right. I'm sorry. It won't happen again. Instead, you want to turn it into something crazy. It's not necessary. So, honestly, I am very much in my boundaries era. I'm in my boundaries era. Now that there's a mic in front of me and I'm doing I'm literally trying so hard not to start freestyling, and I'm shit at freestyling. I'm so bad at freestyling. Yo, I can't freestyle, but you know my style. I can't freestyle, but I've been here a while. That wasn't too bad. Okay? Boundaries is very, very important. And just holding people accountable and knowing and having the self-awareness to be like, you know what? I didn't see it like this before. And that's how you nurture good relationships with people. It's actually not hard. It's not hard. But when people are coming with ego, when people are coming with this tyrannical, oppressive energy, that's when it's like, nah, it's not worth it. Do you know what I mean? But boundaries is so, so, so important. Let me know if there has been a time in your relationship with your parents or just anyone, relationship with parents, friends, loved ones, whatever, whereby they have just refused to to be held accountable for something that they did, because it's a lot more common than I think people speak about. Do you know what I mean? Oh my goodness, guys, I started therapy as well. Very related. I started therapy very, very shortly after that video I was talking about of my parents apologizing. I started therapy. The first session, I burst into tears within 20 minutes. I didn't know I had so much built up. I had no idea I had so much built up. But that's another conversation for another day. I hope that you have enjoyed this episode. Oh my goodness, I don't even know how long it's been. Just been yap. Don't even know how long it's been. But I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. And I'm looking forward to hearing your feedback in the comments. Thank you so much. Hold your parents accountable and set boundaries. And that's what Sayo says. Sayo said. Did you hear what Sayo said? Whether she's sitting down by herself or with... I need to learn how to sing. By herself or with a friend. That's what Sayo says. I said what I said. I'm Sayo, and that's what I said. Mwah. Love you. Kisses. Bye. Make sure you subscribe. I should do the whole spiel, innit? Subscribe to my channel. Make sure you like. Make sure you comment. Make sure you send me nudes. Don't send me nudes because they'll block my account. Send it to my phone. Sorry, no. Don't send me nudes. Okay, thank you so much.